Yeah. Morning, Love Out Louders. How you all going? Wanted to just drop you all a line and connect and you know, introduce a really amazing tribe member for the Love Out Louds group. So this is Iesha. Iesha Daloon came into my life years and years and years ago, and we connected in a very different way. So she sort of helped me and my family through some trauma that we were going through, and the work that she's done has just basically changed our lives. Like, absolutely incredible, incredible woman. I wanted to introduce you to her to show the power of what this woman does and is, and like the being of this. I bop along in my car to some CDs. So did you want to talk about them to start with?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So these are Sing Your Affirmations CDs. This one, oh no, wrong way around. This one's about 9 years old now, and it's called Positively Funky, and this one is called Sing Your Affirmations 2, because I'm planning to make a whole lot of them. One a year would be really fun. And the essence of it is, you know how you can get a song stuck inside your mind? And if you're having like a breakup or a horrible time, you'll get this song inside your mind that just pulls you into those feelings. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be amazing to kind of reverse engineer that? And so for me, I started using, when I wanted to create something and I wanted to feel a certain way, I put that set of thoughts into a song for myself, and I just walk along singing it. And then, yeah, about 10 years ago, I go, well, other people should do this too. It's really fabulous. And out have come these CDs. So they're really positive thinking songs about loving yourself, about gratitude for life's ups and downs, about being open to abundance, open to understanding, and they're set to kind of catchy tunes so that you can listen to them while you're on the treadmill or bopping along in the car, vacuuming or whatever. So they're available as physical CDs, or they're on iTunes and Google Play and and things like that. So they're lots of fun, and they're getting downloaded and streamed and bought in the tens of thousands of
around the
sales
world,
all around the world.
all around the world.
Super fun.
I know, how cool is that? I have mine in the car, and I bop along with it in the car all the time, which is really cool. So as well as that though, like this woman's pretty incredible, right? First book, The Answer. The Answer. So you want to have a little chat about that one first? Because I'm going to ask you a question soon, but we're going to get to that in a moment. So
okay, fun.
Yeah.
Like show and tell.
Show and tell.
So the answer, the byline is 42 days of connecting with your authentic personal power. And I published this 5 years ago, and it was a 5-year long before that dream of wanting to help people understand their innate wisdom and their innate power. So I describe this book as the instruction manual for our amazing bodies that we never got when we were born. So really our innate power to control, and I don't mean in an overpowering way, but to feel like we're in the driver's seat of life, that we can make our own choices, that we're the boss of us. Our equipment for that is innate. It's in our mind, in our body, and in our energy. And this book systematically breaks down those 3 areas and explains how they work together to create a state of being. So any state of being, like joyous, like you and I are feeling at the moment, there's thoughts that go with that, there's energy that goes with that, there's even posture and physicality that goes with that. And deep sadness is the same. There are thoughts that go with that, there's a physicality that goes with that, there's energy that goes with that. And I wanted people to understand the individual ingredients so that they could at any moment in time use just one of them to create an uplifting effect. So sometimes when we're having a really hard day mentally, and we all can go there, like life has its ups and downs, we don't need to fight our mind with our mind. We can use our body. Go for a walk, breathe. We live by the ocean, we're so lucky, so we can breathe some sea air, get into the forest, do some yoga, move your body. You can use your body to uplift your mind and your energy. if you're really struggling physically, or you're injured, or there's something happening with your body, well, you know what? When you learn how, you can use your mind and your energy to uplift your body. You don't have to be a master of all of it all the time. And I really was, like I said, I was driven I wanted everyone to just know how their being worked, so that they could feel empowered in their lives. Because it's such a disempowering and heartbreaking thing when we feel like circumstances have control of us, or someone else has control of us, or even our own emotions have control of us. And I wanted everyone to just know how to land in the authentic power of who they are. So that's how this came into being.
Yeah. Incredible. So then, more recently, you know, Iesha's a mover and shaker, and she's never got a sit on the couch attitude.
I do sit on the couch.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. but not, you know,
as a recharge.
Yeah. I love fantasy novels, and they take time to read, the epic, you know, five in a series or whatever. So yes.
Really, what's your favourite?
Oh, I'm reading Robert Sanderson at the moment.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh, it's very exciting.
Oh.
He's very good. But yes, lots. There's so many.
Ooh.
Yeah, Juliet Marlier and
Okay,
yeah, you know, Mr. Babylon kind of land.
Oh,
it's all
nice.
good. There's a dragon, swords, magic, other planets. I mean,
that's cool. That's really cool.
So yes, it does take some time on the couch, but I don't.
Yeah.
Not there permanently.
So more recently, it was really exciting when we were chatting the other day that you told me that you went and saw Dr. Joe Dispenza. Now, I got his book a couple of years ago, the Breaking the Habit of Being You.
Such a good book.
Oh, my goodness. I went to a personal development mindset session, and somebody was speaking about that, and I was just drawn to it, just like, I need to get that. And I think it might have been around Mother's Day a couple of years ago, and one of my daughters actually bought the book for me, and I'm so in love with it. When I saw you went across, where did you go, Sydney?
Was up at the Sunshine Coast. Yeah, so 7-day full immersion of such amazing content, such amazing science, and obviously the practical experience of myself in that. So
how cool.
It was the most beautiful gift I think I've given myself in a very long time.
Sitting back, just jealous as buggery watching you.
We'll go together next time.
Okay, we'll go together.
Yeah, it was fabulous, and it helps me in my work. It helps me with me, because obviously I'm always growing and evolving, and I'm my most frequent client in terms of practicing what I'm all about.
Absolutely.
But it's given me such great structure and language for the way that I can help clients even more as well.
Yeah. So I will say hi, Rick. How you doing, buddy? I was actually telling Iesha about you just a second ago, about your Mana project down in Rosebud, and how we're just like linking all so many different incredible humans, and how much access we actually have got, but how big we've got to actually grow this to make sure everybody's got some kind of something to link to. And you are doing amazing stuff, Rick. So big shout out, buddy.
Beautiful. I just sent you a friend request.
Yeah, you should do too.
So let's be friends.
Amazing. So more recently, and I'm going to ask my question when I first got here, and I said to Iesha that I'm going to ask you a question and then just let you run with it. And the question was, what is happiness to you? And I think that was really cool, because Iesha's latest book, you can see there, The Happiness Recipe. So a couple of months ago, I went along to the book launch. Did you want to talk about it?
Oh, of course. Beautiful. So the bit that you probably couldn't read is the little thing that it says underneath, and it's discover the unique ingredients you need to thrive. So to me, and this is going to go in a little bit to your question, so I'll try and just be talking about this. So when I wrote this book, I was so, it's backwards, the camera. I was so convinced that what we needed here on planet Earth, and I know I'm not the only one speaking this message, lots of us are, but I wanted to just put out there, like I said, the instruction manual, so people could know their power and how to use it in a love-filled, self-accepting kind of a way. And over the years of watching that come out and working with clients, I've had a one-on-one, coaching, healing, therapeutic, trauma releasing, all sorts of amazing stuff, business now for over 16 years. And I was watching people apply these tools, and I had this really heartbreaking realization. And as all of us in this work, we know we get our greatest insights when we're broken open, positively or not so. And I was watching these amazing human beings use the tools that I'd shared. They were using their mind, they were using their body, they were using their energy, and they were pumping all of this energy into circumstances in which they could never thrive. And it's like the instruction manual isn't enough. There's another step. And I was watching these people, and to me, the metaphor I used through the book, it's like they were this gorgeous tropical plant planted down in Tasmania, forcing themselves to try and thrive there when they never could, looking around at the Tasmanian oaks and deciding that the problem was them and they weren't enough, and the problem was them, they're broken, they need fixing, they need more of this, more of that, all the while digging themselves deeper and deeper and thriving less and less and less. And so much of the breakdown I was seeing, the anxiety I was seeing, the depression I was seeing was people in these circumstances. Now that might be circumstances mentally, emotionally, disconnect from spirituality. It might be their relationships, their career, their relationship with themselves. But I was watching them have these tools, and I realized that there was two types of happiness. So in the book, I talk about there's surface happiness and there's soul deep happiness. And surface happiness is what we create when we shift our chemicals, right? Because we make our own chemicals. So we get surface happiness is what happens if we go out for a dance with our friends, we, like I said, go for a walk in nature, we have some great sex with someone, that produces great chemicals. We do something that creates a temporary shift in chemicals. And I was seeing these beautiful tropical plants planted down in Tasmania pumping more and more and more and more and more energy into surface happiness, and doing stress management courses and resilience courses and more and more and more, creating breakdowns sometimes because they weren't actually addressing the core disconnect. They weren't actually understanding that as an individual, what we need to thrive, what inspires and delights us and energizes us, and what depletes and drains and lowers us is as individual as our own fingerprints. Like, we're individuals. Your best day, if we were doing that exercise where you wrote your best day, your best day and my best day can look different. Do you know what I mean? There's a forensic accountant in the world that just loves their job and their favourite thing is doing all of that. And then there's an artist in the world and their favourite thing is doing all of that. And to me, what was missing is understanding that we are unique, and the things that you need to thrive, that is a journey so worth going on. And when you get that, and basically this book is how to map that. It's much shorter than the big one. And it's basically mapping your unique happiness recipe, because when you know that, well, that's when these tools are just ace. Yeah, so that was my inspiration. I'm like, okay, people need, at the core of it is that fundamental knowing of who we are. And I say so many times to people, you're not broken. You don't need fixing. You're magnificent. You just might need some knowing. You just might need to be seen. And the first person that needs to see us is often us. And that was where this just needed to come out, and I want to talk about it as much as I can today.
Absolutely. So that's pretty exciting. So there's a few ways you can reach out to Iesha and grab. Yeah, you do, Kimmy. You need this book. Everyone does. It's incredible. To grab a copy of either of the books and the CDs. You can reach out to myself or Iesha anyway through any avenue you can.
And then you can have a free hug if you want to.
Hugs.
If you're close and you want to pick them up, or they're available on, Amazon or wherever the online places that you would buy a book to.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And as well, so the next part, like, what's next? What is next?
what's next.
I mean, you work one-on-one with people,
I do.
which is super powerful, and I love, love, love that, because you just feel so incredible walking out of a session with you that, you know, it's like I said, it's been life-changing for myself and my family. But what's next big for you? Something exciting, or is it a secret?
No,
in the
I'm
bubbly
happy to share.
making.
It is. There's things that are bubbling along, but what's next for me is that one-on-one work I do. I have a 5-month transformation for life, I call it, package, where I work with a limited number of people one-on-one, and it's a holding container for 5 months, and it is soul food, happy tears to watch what can happen in a container of support like that. It is like an unrecognizable, profound shift in self-acceptance, in whatever needs to happen. It might be the achievement of a goal. Maybe the goal is self-love. Maybe the goal is starting a business. Maybe the goal is transforming your relationships, whatever it is. And that is soul food for me, and I absolutely love it. But the thing that's coming through me is that this need, and I'm sure you guys know what this is like, that propulsion to just get out and speak these messages. So I'm looking for opportunities to speak and to reach the people that need to hear what I've got to say, so that they can feel more self-love, more self-acceptance, more empowerment. So really working through with my network in Australia and in the USA, and just opening up to those experiences. And I just want to do a whole lot more.
Awesome.
A whole lot more speaking.
Oh, look, I've
and there is a trip to the USA brewing later this year. Yeah, the kids and I can go, and yeah, there's a few places already. I've worked with people in the States, and I've got a database and some connections. So there's brewing happening there.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
So I've seen Iesha speak live at her book launch, and how she did. How she held herself in that space was incredible as well. So, yeah, absolutely. I was enthralled the whole time. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
No, it is good. And I just, it's like this invisible thread that I just was feeling your heart attached to mine. And I don't know, it's been like that since the day I met her, which is wonderful.
Beautiful. And you do, like I said to you before we jumped on live, you do love who you work with. You do love an audience. I feel so grateful. I have to not drop in too deep if I'm wearing makeup. We talked about that. I can't wear mascara and then go, oh, I'm living my passion. Because it does, sometimes your heart and soul breaks open, and for me, tears come with that often. But you do, I had a couple of moments of mascara danger moments at my book launch, just loving the people that were there and that were open. It's such a privilege. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So how's that? One of our beautiful new tribe members. So reach out and say hi. I'm going to start plugging into all of the rest of the quality people that we have around us, so we can connect and engage and feed off each other and love each other. Amazing. Have an awesome rest of your day, Love Out Louders.
Do you want to ask me that question?
I did. I thought that was kind of hard.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
What is happiness? What happiness? Separate from the book.
Yeah.
What does happiness mean to you?
Okay, beautiful. Because I thought, did we? And I have sort of covered it, but to me, happiness is the effortless result of living in true alignment with who you are.
Yes.
So not who you think you were meant to be, but the truth of who you are. And when you land there, it is a goosebumps moment. It is a happy tears moment. And when you're being your own authentic, true self, everyone around you benefits.
Yes.
And I want to honor that you can hear something like that when you're in dysfunctional relationships that are basically set up based on you not respecting yourself, and do you know what I mean? And when things are really convoluted and you hear that and you go, I don't know, there'd be so much resistance if I tried to be me, and it's hard to imagine. But I can't, every day in my work, I see people drop into the truth of who they are, and everyone who loves them, they get to love them more. You know, when you're living on the surface and someone says, I love you, they can only be loving the surface that you're showing. when you break into, I don't mean break into, here's how I think about it. When I meet a client, it's a little bit like the sculptors talk about, but the Michelangelo says that David was in the marble and his job was just to carve off everything that wasn't him. And when I meet a human being, that's what I see. I see their truth. And our job together is to slough off, take off all the stuff that wasn't them so they can shine in the truth of who they are. And when we do that, wherever we are in the ups and downs of life, that soul deep happiness, that contentment is the effortless result. So it's not something to seek, it's something that you are already in truth.
That's pretty cool. That's so freaking cool. I love you. You're so gorgeous.
Beautiful.
That's the best. How's that? Wow. I saw nude David when you did that then. Like it just, you really.
Yeah, there he was all the time.
I wonder, have you seen me nude yet? Like, have you wished away all of my outer shell? Oh, feeling exposed.
Yeah, but this is your truth.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because you're doing something you're passionate about, I was saying to Mel before, one of her superpowers is that connection. For those of you that have met her, you feel, I went to something with Mel last year and I just felt so loved and included because she was there and she was like the beautiful love-filled glue that made me feel welcome in a room where I knew no one but her. And we didn't stick next to each other the whole time. You were doing your thing.
This is flit around.
But it was so beautiful. And that's when you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
There's an energy to it. And that's what makes you soul naked instead of wearing 16 heavy cloaks and, do you know what I mean, trying to pretend you're joyous in something that's meaningless.
There you go, David.
There we go. That's
Nudity.
David.
That's my David.
Yeah.
And then I'll wrap up with my commitment to being nude under the next full moon.
Oh, wow.
Sky-clad, grounded. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in winter, just so you know that you're alive. Because are we national, international?
We're global.
We're global. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
So in Australia right now and down in here in Victoria, that's a massive commitment. Yeah. Just saying.
Oh well.
Awesome.
All right.
So
have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Lovely to meet you all. Let's get in touch.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, far out. How you do.
That was fun.